just wanna be enough for you as I try to find the words inside my head I need to say. I'll do anything, tell you everything for your energy. Oh, this is chemistry.
Welcome to another episode of CheMinistry. This is the last episode of 2022, and we're going to be talking about a loveless holiday. But really, we're going to be dealing with, are you in a relationship or a situationship? We know that typically around the holidays, our men, I'm biased, our men disappear, right, until February the 14th. They don't want to buy us any gifts. So I want to kind of just peel back the layers on that whole thing. And then I also want to help some of us who are in situationships, or even if you think you in a relationship, you're going to find out today, whether you in one or the other. Without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce my guest. So my first guest is the ex-wife of singer R. Kelly and is now a sought-after choreographer, dancer, and has a burlesque company. Ladies and gentlemen, Drea Kelly. Next up, she is the owner of Days Media Productions and one of the fiercest cast members of Black Ink Crew New York. Welcome, Sky Days. Keeping with the New York vibe, my next guest owns multiple tattoo shops in 4 different states. He's a tattoo business mogul and reality star, Caesar Emmanuel. Not only was my next guest a cast member on Basketball Wives LA, but she's also a businesswoman and owner of Life Angels. Welcome the talented Angel Love. This former bad boy intern turned CEO is the longest running male cast member of Love and Hip Hop New York. Welcome Creep Squad member Rich Dollars. Wow. Once homeless at 19, he is now a national best-selling author, course creator, and educator. Welcome the host of the Table podcast, Anthony O'Neill. And our expert needs no introduction. You've seen her in School Days, House Party, and Baby Boy, just to name a few. Today, she's a certified lifestyle coach and therapist. Please give a warm CheMinistry welcome to the beautifully talented and brilliant A.J. Johnson. So the holiday season officially starts this week, right? And as I stated in the intro, we are dealing with, are you in a relationship or a situationship? So my first question is, and I think I'm going to throw it to Sky. Have you ever found that you were in a situationship and you actually thought you were in a relationship and then it came out that this is just a situation?
For sure.
So tell us about that. Tell us about how that whole situation unveiled.
Well, I was working at Macy's. It was years ago. I was probably like 22, and I used to talk to this guy named James. He was from Brooklyn. And yeah, I really was into him. I thought he was super cool. And I guess he liked me more than I liked him. I was standing on, I liked him to the point, you guys, I was standing online for sneakers. It was around the time when them red foams came out.
Oh, wow.
That was a minute ago. And I was working, first of all, them sneakers cost mad money at that point. I'm working at Macy's, breaking the budget. And either way, I mean, that was my turning point, because I put for February 14th, if I didn't get the love reciprocated that I was giving, that I was going to cut him off. And February 14th came, and guess what? He was nowhere to be found.
Wow.
That wasn't funny.
What? Caesar. Caesar.
That's my brother.
I'm sorry, my bad.
So look, So we're going to have you expound a little bit more because when did you begin? When did this guy first start going ghost? Like, because from Thanksgiving to February 15th, that's a couple months, right? So what happened from Thanksgiving to Christmas?
You know what it is? I was letting words lead me, like, instead of action. So you can just, at that point in my life, you know, we have 5 love languages. Words of affirmation were mine. I just came home from jail, so you could tell me anything, and it just felt good, you know? And this is my first job. It was someone that was taking an interest in me in some sort, and I was super excited about that, but it wasn't reciprocated to the point that I felt about him. Okay. And that's okay, because it was a learning experience. I needed to go through that, because it never happened again, girl.
So, Caesar, since you laughing over there.
Right. Nah, hold on. She had just came home. That's why it was so funny, because, you know what I'm saying? That's why I laughed. It wasn't nothing.
The question is for the men, though. Why do men go ghost? Because you specifically said that you go ghost until February the 15th. Like, I got that tagline from you.
You know Rich is here, too, right?
Yeah, I'm going to ask Rich, too. I'm going to ask Rich, too.
Me? What?
Yeah, so, like, no, tell me.
Honestly, sometimes it's a situationship. Like, you know, sometimes feelings get mixed up. People don't know the difference between a relationship and situationship. And sometimes, you know, being a gentleman, sometimes you just gotta go ghost.
Being a gentleman.
Nah, I'm kidding. Damn, I'm just kidding. Y'all about to beat me up in here. Yo. Matter of fact, I plead the 5th.
No, let me ask you this. So in those situations, right, are you communicating if it's a situation or a relationship? Because these things can go on all year.
Listen, you could communicate to somebody that this is just a situationship, but sometimes they don't get in their head. It's just a situationship. What are you supposed to do?
What the hell did you just say?
Angles. I said sometimes a situationship could be confused with a relationship, even though you tell them it's a situationship.
Yo, he's speaking the truth now.
At the end of the day, that's not really on you if you already communicated that.
But who puts the guidelines of whether it's a situationship or a relationship? Because you're saying, like, oh, I said this, but...
Oh, you always get that question. Yo, what are we doing here? Are we in a relationship or are we just messing around?
And are you answering honestly? Are you answering
and that's the thing,
honestly?
it's on a guy to be truthful. Now, most, you know, will tell a lie, but I'm not one to do that, because when you stop giving people a choice, that's when they really get angry. So I'd rather give you a choice. You're either going to deal with me in this way or we ain't going to deal with each other at all.
So it really comes down to...
Yeah, I try, you know what I mean? They try to put me on the spot, you see me?
So it really comes down to, for us as men and women, understanding that we always have a choice. And what does our choice look like? What is your choice designing to be? Because Chanel, you said, how come you go ghost as a man? But sometimes as women, we choose to go ghost.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's a matter of, especially at holidays, what does the list of the relationship look like? What does it look like? What does it walk like? What does it speak like? And the same thing for a situationship. And now we choose what we want. Right?
But I don't think I could get mad with a man if he tells me, yo, what this is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you'd be surprised.
I can't get mad with you because I know what's going on. Like, I know this is a situationship and this relationship. If it's a situationship, then I know that I can't expect.
Go ahead, Anthony.
But sometimes people be trying to change, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, this could be a situation, but maybe I can make him change his ways. Maybe it could be a relationship.
Yeah.
That's true.
What's the actual question? Go back to the actual question.
Thank you, Rich. Good looking, brother.
The first question was, I asked Sky, had she been in a situationship, or had she had an experience where it was a situation or a relationship? And she said she had a situationship.
Correct.
And then my follow-up question was, why do men go ghost when it's a situation? And I'm going to ask you why.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me.
So this is the deal.
Have you gone ghost? Let's be clear first. Have you gone ghost?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now, with that being said, I have good motivation for so. When you're in a relationship versus a situationship, holidays bring out the truth.
It does, absolutely.
Holidays, especially the ones that we're about to embark on, right?
Absolutely.
Amen.
So now, I'm in what I'm thinking is a relationship, but it appears to be a situationship because as holidays get around, people get transactional.
That's correct.
And once you get transactional, you give up your card. Now I know what you're thinking. Now I know what you're doing. Now I know what the motivation was.
Okay.
The motivation was never to be in a real relationship. The motivation was to get to this point to now you can go ahead and cash in on what's coming up.
That's going to come regardless. A man is supposed to take care of a woman. You're a provider. What's wrong with you?
A man is supposed to take care of a woman and this is where the argument starts. So let's get it.
Yeah.
A man is supposed to take care of a woman that deserves to be taken care of.
Amen to that.
In your eyes.
No woman is supposed to come in and everything is earned in life.
Granted.
Nobody is supposed to be given anything in life. So with that being said,
why does the holiday change anything?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Because then the truth comes out.
Anthony, I need you to help me with this.
So does that mean
why does the holiday change?
Yeah, Anthony, where you at, bro?
Come on, God. Come on.
I mean, I disagree with everybody.
Okay.
What?
I'm just saying, I don't think no woman that's not my woman doesn't deserve to be taken care of. Because I refuse to show up for tryouts, but then I don't show up for the finals. And so for me,
I like that.
So just because you're beautiful, just because you're a girl who eventually wants to be my woman, you got to earn that spot for me to show up. Because the reason why I was homeless was because I tried to impress all the ladies pledging Kappa Alpha Psi. And so
you were in your lane, though.
So, hold on,
you were stepping out of your lane.
Hold on, because I'm in my lane now, so hold on.
Now you are.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? But I would have been in my lane quicker if I would have been focused on really pursuing the bad season. If I would have been focused on getting my bag, operating in my calling, becoming the man that God made me to be, then I could have do it. So now at this season that I'm in, I treat every woman with the utmost respect. I treat her like a queen, like that she is. But that woman will not get my resources. She will not be provided for until she has earned the spot for me to call her my wife.
But when you say provided for, are you saying like just financial resources? Because that's what the issue is with me, with men. When you guys say, I'm not providing for this woman, I'm not doing this, you know that's not just financially, right? You provide her with stability, mental, affection. Granted, you all just keep going to, I'm not giving her anything. This is not, when I say a man is a provider, the man that I'm with now, he's helping me be my better because I'm with him. Because I'm graceful. I'm showing respect. I want to be more in my feminine energy because
now, when we come back from break, we'll continue the conversation on a Loveless holiday. The conversation between Anthony and Rich.
I'm trying to understand how you disagree with me.
You have that.
Hold on, Rich. Hold on.
This is what I asked for. This is what I expect, and this is what it really is, right? So what I'm trying to get at is we want to end up with you, but I want to understand the male perspective as to why you wait until Christmas to undo.
Oh, it doesn't have to do with any specific holiday.
Right.
It just has to do with this time of year usually brings out the truth.
But why?
Because this is the season of giving. So if giving isn't reciprocal, then I know why you're here.
Okay, so you're saying that if you don't get a gift, that's when
No, it has nothing to do with gifts because, quite frankly, nobody can offer me what I offer them.
Okay.
I'm beyond the point in my life where we're going tit for tat.
Okay.
Because I'm in a place in my life right now where I can probably give 99% of the people way more than they could give me.
But then what I'm asking is that you typically know that person, if it's transactional or not, before you get to this time of year.
You don't.
You don't?
No, you don't.
From a woman?
No. I think
y'all are the queens that misleading us like that. Thank you. Come on now. Y'all can go a whole year and we won't even know it's transactional.
What?
Y'all can go the whole year.
Y'all mean
Come on
women?
now.
Y'all can go the whole year and do what?
Y'all can go the whole year and we won't even know it's a transactional thing because y'all are just so smooth with it.
Are you serious?
Oh man, I don't have friends like that. So
I'm not saying you.
I'm just saying, if you're loving me right,
ladies,
I'm gonna reciprocate what you're giving me.
Let's be real though.
That's what's important. if you're getting love right, it's about reciprocation.
Exactly.
And if we're getting to the point where now I'm looking back and I'm reflecting on the last, 8 months of this relationship.
But you wasted 8 months with someone and it
Chanel.
was just transactional and it wasn't reciprocated?
Welcome to 2022.
Chanel.
Welcome to 2022.
8 months is a long time, Rich.
So hold on.
I ain't giving nobody no 8 months.
Chanel.
And they ain't reciprocating. They got to go.
So Chanel, here's the
It's
question.
about expectations.
Okay.
Here's
so
the
you don't
question.
have no expectation. You know what? So then we back at the multiple dating. Because now you're tolerating. You're tolerating because you got someone else to fulfill.
Go ahead, Dre.
The void.
Well, the question becomes, and Drea.
Y'all know I'm always going to go back to the multiple dating. Y'all know I'm going to talk about
What
it.
you laughing at?
Chanel.
I think the bigger point here, let's get back to the question that was asked. I think it stops when you stop doing relationship things with people that you don't want to be in a relationship with.
Absolutely.
Don't introduce me to your mama. I don't want to meet your kids. We're not going to church on Sunday because then that means we're doing relationship things if this is a situationship. I think that men think that our hearts are too tender. If you calling me and you say, I'm here to break your back, I might break yours and you're going to leave. Sometimes you need to be just that raw, and I think men's egos are too sensitive and fragile that if you give me the raw, I might deliver you back with some raw. And you might find out you were my situation before you even knew it.
No.
Boom!
No.
I ain't gonna lie. Sexy. No. I like what she said.
Chanel.
No.
Chanel.
No.
Yes.
I wanna ask you something, because if we're talking about your original statement, which was at this season.
Yes.
And the season is a season of giving.
Absolutely.
That's not a season of reciprocation.
Okay.
A season of giving is giving. So I think what we have to do is properly define what is giving.
Okay.
Before we get to a season or not. If I'm in a relationship and I'm gonna be a giver and I'm serving as a queen to a king, what does that look like? The holiday shouldn't change that.
Period.
Absolutely.
So maybe we can get more into, it's a season of giving. What does that really look like? What does that walk like? What does that talk like? How does giving behave?
Absolutely. I think, before we can even get to that, we're dealing with men who are they're doing like what he just said, that these women are transactional. Essentially, there's a motive on their part as well. You're saying it's transactional because it's Christmas time or the holidays or what have you, but the truth of the matter is there's a motive as to why you even wasted 8 months with someone that you didn't want to be with.
That was just a random time. It could have been 3 months, it could have been 2 months. My point is,
any amount of time
that is wasted is too much time wasted.
Absolutely.
So now, to your question, this is the season of giving.
Absolutely.
But we're all adults in this room, and I don't think that anybody in this room doesn't understand.
No, speak for yourself.
Okay, so I'm speaking for me. So when I'm in this room, I'm a grown-ass man, and I know exactly when this is not a reciprocal relationship and it's transactional. I've been in enough relationships in my 47 years of life that I can sit here and say, this is
and not once
you're doing the things that you need to do to get to the end.
But if you know that you don't need to drag it out to Christmas, you don't need to drag it out to New Year's. When you know it's BS, call BS, and we're at the end of the game.
But notice,
you don't need to drag that out into a Christmas season.
Notice in your response, we're still hearing and seeing words of reciprocation and transactional. Not once did you say giving.
Giving, because to me, giving is reciprocal.
Hold on, Rich. Hold on. I think you need to clear this up a little something, right? You gotta let them know if it's a situationship that you're in or a relationship. Because I think a lot of these women get misunderstood what you're saying. If you're in a relationship, you're supposed to give your queen everything. Yeah. But if you're in a situationship, I ain't giving you nothing. And I'm just being honest with you.
And that's your way.
And so then my question is, why engage in a situation and then get to the holiday and do that? I don't understand the mindset behind why men move in that way.
I don't think it's just men. I think that's humans in general, because I have women do that to me too.
And I think if
it's not just a man thing. I think is people don't be understanding the situation.
Exactly.
Okay.
And people get confused with situations. Like I said
But where does the
earlier,
confusion and the misunderstanding come from?
because people be doing relationship things with situations.
And I think if a man is letting you know that you're just a situation, they're not robbing you of your opportunity to make a decision if you want to stay here.
That's key. You have to know. That's key.
You're not
you have
meeting
to
my
know
mother.
what you're in.
You're not meeting my family in a situationship.
He
But
letting
if
you
I'm
know.
with you and you my woman, you mean everybody in my circle.
And you're gonna
It's
know
a
that.
difference.
So you're making
respect
sure that it's clear,
It's
when
clear.
there's a
And most
differentiation.
most situationships ain't supposed to go past 90 days anyway.
But is that clear in your situation and relationship?
That's a relationship after that.
Yeah.
So can we ask
So now you want the
Chanel?
whole Steve Harvey.
Yo.
I thought you didn't subscribe to that 90-day.
Excuse me?
You told me the other day that you didn't subscribe to the 90-day rule.
Nah, I do the 30-day
said-
rule.
Okay.
You can hold out for 30 days.
Who, me? Hold out what?
But you
I
know
said,
what
wait,
though?
hold on,
Hey,
hold on, hold on.
But Caesar,
Hold on.
watch this though, Caesar. Here's the truth though, and ladies are gonna get upset when I say this. You say the men should say up front if this is a situation or a relationship.
Of course.
I think 90% of men say up front it is a situation, but ladies do not like to hear.
I said that before, but I
never
didn't
had
want to
nobody
say trouble.
Let's be real.
Absolutely.
Let's
Let's
be
be
real.
a buck.
Men
Have you
say
ever
it up
heard
front.
anybody tell you, yo, we're in a situationship?
I know, no one ain't-
Who talks like
nobody
that?
ever
so let's
told
But
start
me
hold on.
Let's start there. No one says, hey, baby, we're in a
No,
situation.
No.
But I don't think men straight
listen,
up tell you like
No,
But
we
y'all
said, yo,
talking-
we just chilling right
We
now.
No, we
chilling.
just know by your actions. And
But
we
we're-
try to make you love us. We women, we nurturers. We not y'all. Like,
But that's
stop comparing
but
us
that's
to y'all.
y'all's fault.
No,
that is
you,
y'all's fault.
You're an animal.
That is y'all's fault.
How is it our fault? Because God put that in us. How is it our fault?
Drea.
How is it our fault for something that God innately put
Because
in
I mean,
us?
let's
Because here's the thing. Y'all say that we're nurturers and that's why you come to women to uplift and build and give you a platform.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
then when you get a woman that gives that to you, most men run when we
I
make
hate
you accountable.
Now listen.
When accountability comes in,
Now
that's
listen.
typically when men run.
I mean, that
Because
goes
when
on both
women
ways
go with the
too.
flow and there's no accountability,
That's
there's
why
no
they goes.
I'm trying to answer.
Get
your
her!
question. Listen, no man on this stage is disputing the fact that y'all are nourishers. But if a man tells you this is not a relationship,
You're not telling us. That's the point.
no, but hold on.
That's not the saying that they are.
No, but listen though, if a men, we are logical, straight to the point human beings. If we would, men will tell you up front, ladies, if he is for you. If he does
a
not
fact.
tell you
Saying
that,
no.
and y'all take it there, that's not on the brother.
Why,
But here's
why
the
are y'all
problem with
shaking
that.
your head no,
when
though?
women
Why you
are
shaking your
straightforward
head
and
no?
tell men that, all of a
It's not
sudden their
true.
ego is
So-
broken. Now they just go and break another chain of hearts because they couldn't take the woman that was up front with them. Now their ego is bruised. Now all of a sudden I won't commit to women because she told me it's a relationship. Now I'm
No.
too afraid to commit.
My told me on July 23rd that he loved me on a beach in Mexico while we was up. I asked him, hey, you for real? You really, this is the space that you want to go for next? If we don't have to rush into anything. He said, no, I'm a man. I know what I want and I want you. So I understand that. That's the first time.
I like that.
As a
All right,
woman, I
guys, so
got
we
that.
come back. We'll continue this conversation on the Loveless holiday. Welcome back to CheMinistry. So we're talking about a loveless holiday. So Anthony, during your pre-interview, you talked about dating with intentionality. How does one attract the one that they want?
Jesus.
That helps. Put him in it. That helps.
No, I mean, I think for me, when I go back to like when I was engaged to an amazing woman, I didn't really know who I was. And I was insecure as a man, I'll be honest. And it wasn't until I really got into my personal alignment and I knew where I was going. And I've learned that my energy, my purpose, my assignment will attract the right one to me. It wasn't until to that time frame that I really understood that. So I think for me, if you don't know where you are, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what's on the inside of you, you will not attract what you wanted. I've always attracted the ones that were totally opposite, that got me for my money, but it was because I was insecure and didn't know who I was.
You said this woman was drop dead gorgeous, and she criticized you for dating with intentionality.
Yes.
I want you to talk a little bit about what she said.
You know, I lead up front. I don't lead with sex. I don't lead with my money. I lead up front with like, hey, I want to be married.
Okay.
I want my best
You sound
things.
like me.
So when I said that to her, Literally, on my show, she...
You scared the out of her.
I mean,
I'm glad with, hey, I want to marry you today. Yeah, you scared.
No, I didn't say I want to marry you today. I said, yo, I'm dating with the intentionality of marriage. And she told me up front that I was insecure, I was a narcissist, I was controlling.
Oh, she's weird.
And so I was like, okay, what was that? And she said it's because if you tell me that, it makes me feel as if you don't get ladies easily. And so I was like, wow.
Oh, no, so she wants the bad boy. She wants the creep squad.
Pretty much.
Because I'm going to tell you, you sound like the male version of me. Off the top, I let a man know what it is that I want. I want to be married.
You're right.
I don't want to play around. If you're dating multiple women, you're not for me.
Right.
I'm just not going to have women running around, multiple women saying they date the same person that I'm dating. I'm Chanel Scott. You think I'm about to go over that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Period.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I think most women who are dating intentionally, they are looking for men just like you. I'm just afraid that they don't exist. Like, you're the first that I've never, in all of my years of dating, guys, and I've never been married, so I've had my fair share of dating. I've never met a man on day one who said that they wanted to be in a monogamous relationship. I have never.
You've heard it before.
I've heard it, you just didn't believe it.
If you did meet a man that was like that.
If a dude says it, the first thing in a woman's mind is, this running game.
No.
He running, yes. If a dude was like, yo, listen, this is the deal. I'm an old man.
An old man? So you gotta be an old man if you want to do that.
I'm rich. I don't have time for games. I'm trying to go to the next level. And this is what I'm looking for. The first thing a woman gonna think is, stop.
Have you personally ever met someone where you felt in the very beginning, I would like to be in a monogamous relationship with you?
Tell the truth, Rich.
Tell the truth.
Yeah. Whose team are you on? No, I have absolutely met a woman, maybe one. I have absolutely met women and said, you know what? I'm feeling the energy. I want to see where this goes. Let's be platonic and let's see what happens.
Platonic? So that means you can date other people. Ain't nothing. No, what?
I'm in exclusive.
Bitch.
I meant exclusive. I used the wrong word. I meant exclusive.
That's right. That's my boy, Rick.
Well, can we start here? Ladies, can we at least say thank you, King, for standing in what you believe and being upfront?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is very rare that does happen. But I think instead of looking at it as, when we tell females that they say you lying, whatever, sometimes you have to know that rejection is your protection. That just wasn't your queen. And you have to stand on who the man that you are, because I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, there's a million women in here that if a man like you came to me, including me, would say, I've been looking for a man like you. All women don't go there, but just because she was not, and you have to think, unequally yoked does not always mean in marriage. It means in your view of marriage and what your view of a relationship is also. So you guys were not yoked for that.
I'm sitting here listening, and there's a word that I feel like we're all jumping over, and it's intention.
Yes. I love that word. I love that word.
So when Anthony says, I'm dating with intention to marry, that doesn't mean he has to be monogamous right now. It means he may have found a wife in you. If us as women, positioning, if us as women say, I'm dating intending to find a husband, I want to be married, it doesn't necessarily mean that it could be you. It means my intention is to date trying to see if you're my husband. So what I always say, if there's no alignment with intention, there will always be tension. Right. So what we're hearing in this argument as we're talking is the intentions aren't aligned. If your intention is, I want to kick it as friends, but my intention is I'm looking for a husband, there's going to be tension.
Of course.
You understand? We have to align in our intention.
I never came across a woman who, how can you say, dated me and came across as saying, I might want to marry you one day. That's not how it goes with me. Honestly, I be upfront with everybody because I want you to be upfront with me. If I sit here, my actions speak louder than my words. I could sit there and say, yo, we just in a situationship. But you'll understand by my actions, we're in a situationship.
Yeah.
And in your situationship, what is your intention?
Everybody know what a situationship's about.
No, but I'm asking you specifically. If you and I are dating. I mean, honestly,
and you tell me you are dating, I don't need nothing from you besides sex.
So ladies, here's where we go wrong. He just told me what it is. So if it's a situationship and it's really just sex and we're cool, my intention is not just to have sex. So why am I dealing with him?
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But
That's why it don't last past 30 days.
But I want to ask Anthony. And then I'm gonna go to you, Angel.
Yeah.
But someone who is saying he's dating with intentionality. Are you dating multiple women?
I can't date multiple ladies. Now, catch me in my earlier days. I ain't gonna lie, I was there. But me personally, because of where I'm at today, and this is where the guys get upset with me at. I am too emotionally attached when I am dating one woman. So it's like I cannot emotionally attach myself to 5 different ladies, call them every single day, call them equally, take them out, and I'm running a full, multi-million-dollar business. I ain't got time for all that.
Right.
But Chanel, I want to ask you real quick.
Okay.
I want to ask you.
Okay.
If a man says to you, my intention is to marry, but I am dating multiple women right now, is that a problem for you when you first start dating him?
Absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely, because if you see me out, we need to just talk on the phone. If you see me out spending my time, because first of all, nobody is going to run up on me. Right? Because when I meet a man, the first thing I ask is, are you single? You got to ask that question 5 different ways, especially we're here in Atlanta. It ain't just, yes, I'm single. You got to ask, is there a woman who think you guys are in a relationship, but really is in a situationship? You got to ask, is somebody going to knock on this door when I come see you? Are they going to have an issue with me being here? Are they going to have an issue with me sitting at this table with you? So no, I don't.
That's a problem.
We can ask Anthony, though. Anthony, what is that process? No, because
why are you coming to me?
Because you got the you the one who's intentional. How do you even get to the point where you're emotionally attached to a woman? How do you decide, okay, I want to date just you and only you?
It's simple, man. I value my time more than I value my money.
Okay.
So it's like if I'm getting to know Angel, right, and it's like I'm spending time. I'm giving her my time that's away from my business, that's away from my ministry, that's away from just life. I cannot give my time to her. That means something else is slacking on the other side of things.
Right.
So for me, I totally respect it. Now, here's what I will say. I'm not going to knock my brother for dating that because maybe he can do that. You know what I'm saying? But me, I just can't do that because, when I give in, I give in.
So this brings me to my next question. I want to get into this pick-me ideology, right? I'm going to pick me because I've been hearing this term on social media. I wasn't familiar with it. Somebody called me a pick-me because I sided with a gentleman on one of my shows. I didn't even know the man in real life, but I kind of was riding with him, and they didn't like it. And they called me a pick-me, and I was like, well, what does that mean? So I went and I looked it up. It says it's defined as a woman who has internalized misogyny and deliberately goes out of their way to impress men, right? So I want to, have you guys heard of that? Has anybody ever heard of pick me?
A lot of women are like that.
I mean, I ain't got to go out my way. I just
No, I'm not. Look, we all pick me's. If you show a man favor, right, and then there is multiple women in the dynamic, then they do call you a pick me. But guys, we're going to continue this conversation when we come back from break. Welcome back to CheMinistry. Before we went to the break, we were talking about this pick-me ideology. And so, Angel, I wanted to hear your perspective on the whole pick-me.
I don't think I resonate to the pick-me thing because I'm not a woman that needs to be like, hey, pick me up.
Absolutely.
It just comes about to be chosen already. So it's really hard for me to resonate to the pick-me thing. I think I'm a goddess. Like, I just have this aura.
But no, let me ask you something. Like, I'm not saying pick me in the sense of being desperate, but
I don't have to do none of that.
Right, but you don't. I'm not saying that you have to go out of your way to get a man's attention because if he's feeling you, he's feeling you. You shouldn't have to. But what I am saying is that you want his attention.
So how do you get his attention if you want somebody's attention?
Right, you have to appeal to him.
No, I only want the attention that wants me.
Absolutely.
That's the only aura I'm going. I want a man to want me.
But you're gonna.
I can learn to love you. I can learn to be with you. I want a man to really just desire me and just really be all into me.
But you have to reciprocate the energy if it's gonna go anywhere.
That sounds like a
You
stalker.
gotta do something.
If he's treating me like the queen that I desire to be, then I'm automatically gonna love him.
Okay.
And I only need one.
Well, listen, I ain't afraid to say, guys. If I'm attracted to a man, I am going to appeal to his senses. Okay, it doesn't make me desperate. It doesn't. I want him to know exactly how I feel.
Well, what if he has like multiple women that he's also interested in, and then you're the one to say, "Hey,
well, you know, I don't do the multiple women already.
You don't even know it though."
But you know,
I love when a man has multiple women already before me, because he really picked me. Me personally, I'm a dater, and I'm fine with a man dating while we're in the dating process, only because you made the decision to be with me, and it makes it so much cooler. It's been so much temptation put in front of you. It's been so much beauty, so much interesting things happening to the point that you really want to be with me. You want to be around me. You want to be with me, and you really chose me. So that's where I come from with that. That's my perspective with that. But I still identify where you all come from with, hey, if you are trying to get to know me, how can you get to know so many women and get to know me? Me personally, when I'm in a dating stage with a man, like, I live in LA, I get a lot of things before I was in this relationship with the last man of my life. I get a lot of things as far as the LA dating scene sucks. And I enjoyed it. Like, maybe I didn't know their names, but it was like, hey, I have a date. I have a date with the tourist this day. I have a date with a cancer this day. And it's that. That was my vibe. But when I met this guy, and mind you, we did not hit it off at first. We didn't. Like, I met him at a private party, and it was what it was. And things just happened a year later. But all I'm saying is every happy ending doesn't begin with a fairy tale.
Let's go back to being specific about intentions. Because Anthony and I were talking on the break and talking about what an initial conversation looks like when you're expressing intentions. And he said, we talked, and he made a voice of, that he can't date multiple people. And I would say, well, that's great. I know that's who you are. Right now, I'm dating multiple men, but my intention is to be monogamous. Then he would say, what would you say?
I would say, well, I can't do that because all the men have one motive. We want to have sex eventually. So I don't want to be dating you, knowing you have 3 men trying to sleep with you. Then you hit me with the what?
And then I said, well, because my intention is to marry, I've been abstinent for 3 years. But the reason why I have 3 men in my life is because I may want a workout partner. I may want a moviegoer. I may want a travel partner. And one of them is not all 3.
But I can be all 3.
So here we are.
Exactly. Yes.
But here's the point. Chanel. Here's the point. Look at the level of conversation that starts to be had when you're talking intention to intention and not just about what I want and what has to be right now. We were laughing and joking, but I said, listen, the initial conversations go into which way do you like the toilet paper, over or under? What are the towels like in the towel cabinet? Are the tongues out or the heads forward? Do you leave the toothpaste top off the top? In my couples counseling, some of these relationships are going south for the smallest things. And I think what we have to pay attention to is sometimes it takes time and it's a process. We can't be afraid of the time and the process. A lot of times we as women rush into it.
That's true.
So I need to find out, like we were saying, if I said to him, do you pray? Yes. Do you pray? Yes. Now I want to take time to see, how do you pray?
Yeah.
What's your prayer life like? Are you praying for yourself or you cover me in prayer?
Yes.
I need to see that. You can't tell me about that.
So just prayer alone, you need to know the dynamics of how this works.
And sometimes that takes time.
Yes.
And I'm not afraid of the time.
Okay.
So while he earns the position of the man in my life, I'm going to have some fun.
Something that you said stuck out to me.
Go ahead.
It is the process.
Yes.
That is something that I have been afraid of in the past.
Come on, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Because of the not being aligned. Maybe I'm developing feelings a lot faster than the guy is, right? Or I may like him a little bit more than he likes me. That first 3 months is always hell. It's just rough because I'm intentional. I know what I want, but he may not be in that same space. So that's why I'm so opposed to doing the multiple dating.
But that means you have to ask different and better questions to find out his intention. It's not about the time, it's the intention. You can find out on the first date what his intentions are if you're having the right conversation.
Yes. For those who are still dating and trying to find the right one, how do you keep boundaries around your emotions? Like, how are you able to date without developing an emotional attachment to just one person when you're trying to navigate that dating journey?
When I was dating and I was single and dating multiple men, I wasn't sexually active with all those men. And I just had the connection of, I had a doggy date with my cancer. When my Taurus, he could talk to me on the phone all day, and he had that time to do that. And it was that vibe, what I was looking for. Now with the man that I'm with, who's a Pisces, I do all that. I could talk to him on the phone. I can travel with him. I can make memories with him. Mm-hmm. But I was looking for who I can get all that with, and I wasn't jumping into the situation with, because this man's in front of my face and he has time for me, because that's not my life. Like, I don't move to need a relationship. I want companionship for sure. I'm a woman.
Okay. All right, that's good. So guys, I want to go ahead and I want to pivot the conversation, right? Does social media impact your ability to have a healthy relationship?
For sure.
Go ahead, Caesar.
I'm trying to be quiet, man. Yo, listen, social media, I think social media is the devil, yo. Honestly, it's like, it's hard to concentrate with social media. It got so many things on it. Like, you just go to the Explore page and you go crazy. I think, honestly, if you're in a relationship, you really have to cut that out, yo. Because some people see Instagram as a place that you put your pictures up in. It's really a dating site. You be honest with it. Like, I jump in your DMs, I'm trying to holler. You feel me?
Okay.
Some people... Wait, what happened? I didn't hear you. Somebody said something?
No.
My bad. I thought somebody... But like I said, social media is kind of crazy, yo.
Okay.
And then people be faking their lives all day on it, so you don't know what's real, what's fake. It's like, it's just crazy to me.
Okay. Rich, what's your perspective on social media?
This is rhetorical, huh? Nah, seriously. Social media is the devil as it pertains to relationships. Not seriously.
Really?
The level of competition on social media, the level of access that social media has given everybody is a detriment to relationships. There's no way that anybody could say otherwise. Anybody could slide in anybody's DMs.
Facts.
Any girl is on social media with intentions to impress. Any dude is on social media with intentions to impress. It's a competition.
When you walk out your house, you have intentions
So
to
let me ask you
impress.
this. Would you give up social media for a relationship?
No.
Yes.
What?
I would.
Why you gotta give up something? Yo, there's gonna be temptations regardless, yo. So at the end of the day, you're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, it's more about self-control, because if that's the fact, when you get in a relationship, pluck both of your eyes out and pretend you're blind and you don't see anybody. Like, at the end of the day, you are in total control. I don't care if 5 million people slide in your DMs, you don't have to slide back.
That's hard
That's
for me.
on you.
Wait, hold on. So you trying to tell me out of that
hard
5 million, not one of them you attracted to?
Oh, come on, man.
Wait, say it
come
again,
on,
see?
Drea.
Out of that 5
Come on,
million,
Drea.
not one of them you attracted to.
Okay, then it goes back to
Okay.
your intentions. if you have a girlfriend and you are going,
if you're single now.
If you're single and your intention is to be slip and slide records, then go ahead and do so. But if you are in a relationship, then that means you should stay in the house, because you shouldn't go to the mall, you shouldn't go to a club, you shouldn't go to the grocery store, you shouldn't go to the bank, because temptation is everywhere. You as a man or a woman are in control of whether you bite the apple or not.
But
And I think what happens,
Go ahead.
I just think, like, okay, so you ever been into a relationship and everything is just going so good, and then all of a sudden you just get this massive amount of, like, attention from other people. You're like,
That happens in every relationship. As soon as you get in a relationship,
Yes.
it'd be chicks that trying to holler that you've been
that
trying to
you
knock
never
down for
even,
years.
Like, even, right. So
But what I'm saying is, let's not act like because of social media that happened. That has happened since the beginning of time with relationships.
Right, so why not even
now you
Drea,
have full control. You do. Somebody slides in your DM. Nobody's putting a gun to your head and saying, yeah, you got a woman, but you got to do it because she in your DMs. Yeah, you got a man. You got to do it because you're in your DMs.
You said it best, and I think even for this session, it seems like the word for us is intention. Because what is your intention on social media anyway? You don't have to even deal with DMs if your intention is business.
We make a lot of money.
So if your intention is to build your popularity, then you're going to have those kind of situations.
When we come back from break, we'll continue the conversation on a Loveless holiday. All right, guys, let's go move into the Q&A session. Do we have a question?
First of all, Anthony, salute to you, because there are more brothers like you, me included, which means I'm going towards the topic of what we're talking about, intent. When you're talking about intent, when a man tells you or a woman tells you something of how they feel in regards to their dating life, when will you take them seriously and go by what they're saying versus what you're thinking they're saying?
Their actions. That should tell you everything. Somebody could tell they love you, but if they ain't showing they love you and trying to build you, it should tell you something. Like, as a man, if you have a woman, you're supposed to build with her. And as a woman, if you see a man weak in certain things, you're supposed to build with him too. I think that's the first thing of love. If you see anything, you could tell me you love me all day, you want to be with me, but if you ain't showing them actions, it's frivolous.
And always remember that everyone's version of love is different. And just make sure you know that version of love that they're exuding towards you is that what you want to accept. You got toxic love, you got argumentative love, you got just constant, cool, chill, beach wave love.
What's your question?
First, I want to say to everybody on the panel, you are amazing. And everything that you do, everything that you have accomplished, everything that you have suffered through, we've watched you go through it on television, and I applaud you for being able to be open to the
grace
public.
of God, thank you.
That's
King.
number one. Number two, I've watched everybody's body language as everybody asked the question. I've watched everybody's body language as they answered the question. I started off a heterosexual man, and then I switched to being a homosexual male. I'm 57 years old. I've learned from women, and I learned from men. Do anybody on the panel, you all asked questions to your partner, but a lot of times in relationships, people are afraid of three things: hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Do you guys listen to your partner? Do you watch your partner? And do you see your partner?
Yeah, for sure. That's why I'm in a happy relationship through the grace of God, King. Because I got to listen to him. He's a Pisces. Listen, he's a Pisces sun, Virgo moon, and Cancer rising. I'm dealing with a lot, but I'm happy.
I gotta say that at one point I didn't realize the mental health of my partner. I was married once, and during this marriage, my partner committed suicide. And I knew that he was depressed, but I didn't know to what extent, you know? So it triggered me a lot going forward, being traumatized from this, because if I can go back and do anything in my power to try to figure out what can I do to help that situation, I would. But moving forward, it taught me so much in my new relationship to understand, as far as their mental health, what can I do? How do you feel about this? What can, you know, is it anything I said to help you, or how's the relationship going, or anything like that? It makes me realize that the mental health of another individual is very important, especially a black man, the things that they encounter every day. And as the woman being their queen, that's very, very important to encourage them, enlighten them, and speak life in their life, you know? So that's one thing that
I think it's important, the question that you ask also, we have to realize, are we listening or are we hearing our partners? Because I think a lot of times we're just listening, but we don't hear them. And sometimes your partner has said things a million different ways and you were just listening and you didn't hear them. And then when things come to a head, all of a sudden, you're not hearing what I'm saying. Well, you haven't been hearing what I've been saying for 6 months. That's why we're here today. So I think that also we have to have open dialogue and say, this is a conversation with no consequences. Yes. Because what happens is we say, I love you unconditionally until you can bring up one of my conditions.
And then
we have to have that talk and say, we tell men to be honest until the day he tells you that he cheated. Now I'm gone. So if you're going to open the floor for truth, be prepared for what comes with that truth. You can't say, give me your truth, but now there's a consequence for it. At some point, you have to say, yes, I'm going to make a decision. That's a difference. My decision is to leave. A consequence is I'm going to make you pay for it every time you home late from work. Because last time in '89, when you cheated, you was with this girl. Tonight you late. Tomorrow you late. Last week you was late, so you must have been cheating. That's a consequence. You have to make a decision. But be prepared and know the difference. Am I really asking you for your truth, or I'm asking for my ears to be tickled and comforted?
All right. Well, guys, that's our show on a Loveless holiday. I just want to thank each of my guests for participating in the conversation today. If all hearts and minds are clear, let the church say,
Amen.
Thank you.